Breaking news! Things are hot in the draft for the Baltimore Ravens, and we have some big news to share with you. The front office is sitting on a whopping 11 draft picks. That's right, 11. But the real question is, how are they going to use them? The buzz is getting louder about Baltimore potentially trading up in the first round to get a top-tier defensive lineman. I'll tell you all about it in a moment, but first, hit that like button if you believe the Baltimore Ravens will make it to the next Super Bowl. Dude, seriously, I totally believe it. If possible, write it like this: Go Ravens! I believe it! Now, speaking of the draft, we have some work to do. Could we see the Ravens make a move for someone like Mike Green or Will Johnson? This isn't just speculation. There's a real possibility that Eric DeCosta is looking to package some of those lower round picks to secure an impact player early on. And speaking of impact players, the signing of DeAndre Hopkins has sparked some heated debate. Some fans are questioning whether he'll truly elevate the wide receiver room, but let's break it down. Hopkins isn't coming in to be a WR1 or even a WR2, he's a WR3. This means Lamar Jackson finally has a receiver who can score big on the ball and dominate in goal line situations. The Ravens offense has never had a guy like D-Hop, and the defensive coordinators will have to account for him. If he catches 6 touchdowns this season, wouldn't that be a huge win? The deal is only a 1-year, $5 million deal. What's not to love? But that's just the beginning. What about the edge rusher situation? The latest trade rumors are swirling around Trey Hendrickson and Trayvon Walker. The Ravens could create the cap space to make a move, especially after restructuring Marlon Humphrey's deal to free up $13 million. But is Trey Hendrickson worth the price? If Baltimore pulls the trigger, they'd have to extend him immediately. Meanwhile, Trayvon Walker's name has surfaced in trade talks out of Jacksonville. He's an athletic freak with raw power and speed, and he could thrive in this Ravens defense. But would he be worth the potential trade package? Now, let's talk about John Harbaugh. His contract is running out, and there hasn't been an extension yet. Could this be his last shot at a Super Bowl in Baltimore? Some fans are already calling for a change if he doesn't deliver in the playoffs. But if Harbaugh is gone, who takes over? That's the real dilemma. Moving on from a coach who has built a winning culture is risky unless you have a clear upgrade lined up. And then there's Lamar Jackson. Will the Ravens extend him? Right now, his 2026 cap hit sits at an eye-watering $73 million. That's nearly a fourth of the entire salary cap. If Baltimore wants to build a championship-caliber team around him, they need to restructure his deal ASAP. The blueprint is already out there. Just look at the Josh Allen extension. Add a few million more, and it's done. But if you're in charge, how much would you pay Lamar per year? $61 million? $62 million? Whatever it takes to keep him in Baltimore for life? Ravens fans, now it's your turn. Should Baltimore go all in and trade up for a defensive star? Is DeAndre Hopkins the missing piece for Lamar? Should the Ravens make a blockbuster trade for an edge rusher? And most importantly, does John Harbaugh deserve another shot? Drop your takes in the comments because this is your team, your offseason, and your chance to make your voice heard. Let's talk about it. And let's not forget the biggest wild card in this entire offseason, the Pittsburgh Steelers' new-look offense. The AFC North is always a war zone, and Baltimore needs to be prepared. With Arthur Smith calling plays and the potential duo of Russell Wilson and Mason Rudolph at quarterback, the Steelers' offense is a massive question mark. Sure, they've added weapons, but will it matter if the quarterback play is shaky? If Baltimore wants to stay ahead, they need to prioritize 2 things: an elite edge rusher and a lockdown cornerback. This brings us back to the draft strategy. Baltimore's history under Eric DeCosta shows they love to stockpile picks, but the reality is they don't need 11 rookies filling out the roster. If the Ravens move up, the priority has to be a shutdown corner or a dominant edge rusher. Someone like Barron could immediately step in and be a game changer at cornerback. This guy only allowed 250 yards across 16 games last season with 16 pass breakups, insane numbers. If Baltimore lands him, their secondary goes from strong to elite. On the offensive side, the trenches need attention too. The Ravens' offensive line has been solid, but they need to invest in the interior. The running game has always been a cornerstone of this team, and protecting Lamar Jackson should be priority number 1. Drafting an interior offensive lineman in the 2nd or 3rd round could be the final piece to solidify this unit. Then there's Justin Tucker. Yes, the greatest kicker in NFL history. But rumors are circulating that the Ravens could move on. If Tucker is out, do the Ravens sign a veteran free agent, or do they take a chance on a rookie? Some teams have had success finding kickers late in the draft, but Baltimore has always valued stability at the position. Replacing Tucker wouldn't just be about field goals, it's about clutch moments in high-pressure games. Do you trust a rookie to deliver when the season is on the line? As for the wide receiver group, The Hopkins addition makes this unit more balanced than ever. Zay Flowers is still developing into a potential WR1. Rashad Bateman has a lot to prove, and now Hopkins provides a veteran presence with elite hands. The depth chart is deeper than it's been in years, and Lamar finally has options. But will that be enough to compete with the high-powered offenses of Kansas City, Cincinnati, and even a revamped Houston team? And that leads us to the biggest question of them all, Super Bowl or bust. The Ravens have been knocking on the door for years, but they haven't been able to break through. If Lamar gets his extension, if Harbaugh stays, if they land the right pieces in the draft, and if the defense reloads with elite talent, this could finally be the year. But it won't be easy. The AFC is stacked, and Baltimore will have to navigate one of the toughest schedules in the league. So now, it's your turn, Ravens flock. Should Baltimore trade up in the draft for a defensive superstar? Is it time to move on from Harbaugh if he doesn't deliver? And how much should the Ravens be willing to pay Lamar to keep him in purple and black for life? Let me know in the comments. And let's be real, this is a defining moment for the Baltimore Ravens franchise. The decisions made in the coming months will shape not just the 2025 season, but the next 5 to 10 years of this team. This isn't just about making a few upgrades, it's about cementing a legacy. Take Lamar Jackson, for example. The guy is coming off another MVP-level season, proving once again that he is the heartbeat of this team. But here's the harsh truth. If the Ravens don't structure his contract correctly, it could cripple their ability to build a championship roster. We've seen this happen before with other teams paying elite quarterbacks. Massive contracts limit flexibility, making it harder to retain key players. That's why the front office needs to be smart. If they can get an extension done now, they could free up $15 million in cap space this season alone, giving them room to make another big move. And speaking of big moves, let's talk about the pass rush. Last season, Baltimore's defense was dominant, but they still lacked that one game-wrecking presence off the edge. Trey Hendrickson, Trayvon Walker, both have been mentioned in trade rumors, and either one would instantly elevate this defense. But what's the cost? If trading for Hendrickson means giving up a valuable draft pick and committing to an extension, is it worth it? Or would the smarter move be going after Walker, a younger player who still has upside? Either way, the Ravens can't afford to sit back. The AFC is too competitive, and standing still means falling behind. And let's not ignore the elephant in the room, John Harbaugh. His future in Baltimore is as uncertain as ever. No contract extension yet. No clear answers from the front office. Could this be his last shot? If the Ravens don't at least reach the AFC Championship game this year, fans will be asking serious questions. Harbaugh has done incredible things for this franchise, but at some point, change might be necessary. The question is, if not Harbaugh, then who? Firing a Super Bowl winning coach isn't something you do unless you have a legitimate upgrade ready to go. If the Ravens move on, they need to have the next guy lined up, whether that's an internal promotion or a bold hire from outside. Then there's the draft. If the Ravens do decide to trade up, what's the ideal move? A lockdown corner? A dominant edge rusher? Maybe even an offensive lineman to protect Lamar? The right pick could be the difference between another early playoff exit and a deep run in January.